The United States just body slammed Anthropic. This article's titled Anthropic Disables Top Tier AI Models After U.S. Orders Limiting Foreign Access. That's actually interesting because wasn't someone out of the United Kingdom, some large... No, it was the Bank of England was complaining they didn't have access to Mythos, right? This is before Anthropic came out with these new models that are very advanced that they claim are different than Mythos. So now, hey, Bank of England, now you can call the United States government and ask them why you can't access Mythos, right? But the United States will say, we're limiting everyone else, but not you. I don't know who they're limiting. Let's find out what's going on right now. This is coming from Anthropic.com. So it begins here. The U.S. government, citing national security authorities, has issued an export control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 by any foreign national, whether inside or outside United States, including foreign national Anthropic employees. So, yes, Bank of England, we confirm you might want to call the U.S. government. Don't complain to Anthropic. Let's continue on here. The net effect of this order is that we must abruptly disable Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all our customers to ensure compliance. What is going on? How does humanity make progress if every single time there's something innovative that comes out, they always halt it? They keep it from the public. They keep it from, I don't care about these large companies, but the people. They keep it from the people every time. Let's continue on here. They do. This is why humanity doesn't make the leaps that it could make. This is access to one of the reasons. Access to all other Anthropic models will not be affected. We received the directive from the government today at 5:21 p.m. The letter did not provide specific details of its national security concern. We already know the concerns. What they call concerns. I believe it's just control mechanisms. There's always some way to negate something else, and you can negate these different things that Fable 5 and Mythos 5 are capable of. 100% you can negate them, and by negating them, I mean you can have something that prevents what they're capable of. They're the top models being presented to the public. All right, not the top models that exist outright. My humble opinion from what I've seen. You could disagree, but let's continue on here. So when they say, well, it was for national security, this and that, and the systems are concerned, I tend to disagree just a little bit. And I think that is a facade that they wear in order to halt the proliferation of these type of technologies, so that they could remain in the rulership chair, right? They don't want to lose their positioning. But let's continue on here. In order to remain in that kingly seat, queenly seat, whatever you consider it, you have to have like this measure of control over everything that is powerful. Everything that's powerful becomes like a different scepter to you, or a jewel on your scepter. That makes sense? Let's continue on here. Our understanding is that the government believes it has become aware of a method of bypassing or jailbreaking Fable 5. How long have they had Fable 5? This announcement about Fable 5, didn't that just come out like recently? I could have sworn when I read that article like a few days back that was when Fable 5 was released. Am I wrong? How long did they have it? How could they? So they bypassed and jailbroke it that quickly. Perhaps I'm wrong and they had it for longer. I mean, either they just presented it to us a few days ago, or and they broke it since that time, or perhaps the time they presented it to us, the government had it way beforehand. That is also possible. We reviewed a demonstration of this specific technique being used to identify a small number of previously known minor vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities all appear relatively simple, and we have found that other publicly available models are able to discover them as well without requiring a bypass. Do you believe that? If that's the case, how did they not spot that before? They said it because they said it. Do you just believe it because they said it? Are you sure that is the pathway to take? Not that this is consequential to you or whatsoever, just for conversation's sake. Let's continue on here. Anthropic's posture with respect to Fable safeguards, as laid out in our launch blog post. So that was the launch. They broke it since that time. Is the following. First bullet point. We have instituted strong safeguards that greatly reduce the likelihood that Fable is misused for tasks related to cybersecurity, among others. In fact, our safeguards are so strong that many users have complained that they are overly broad. Yeah, that's what they said in the article as well. In the weeks leading up to the launch of Fable, Anthropic worked with the US government, the UK AISI, whatever that is, multiple private third-party organizations, and internal teams to red team Fable safeguards for thousands of hours in total. And yet they didn't spot this. That's suspicious. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't make any sense. Let's continue. And perhaps there's something I don't understand. I am not a technical expert. I am not an AI expert. So maybe some people out there are more perspicacious on these matters and they can enlighten us. That after you go through thousands of tests and hundreds of hours of testing, that there could still be these simple, exploitable vulnerabilities. Perhaps that is so. These tests show that Fable safeguards are substantially more effective than those of any previously deployed model. No testers have yet been able to find a universal jailbreak. A jailbreak method that can very broadly bypass the model safeguards, unblocking a wide range of cyber capabilities. Am I missing something? The US government says that they jailbroke this, although they don't provide any detail whatsoever, even to Anthropic, according to what they're saying right here. I don't know, since they've written this, maybe they have provided the details to them, but we don't know about it. But then Anthropic is saying we have yet to be able to find any universal jailbreak. So which is it? It's like, well, Mick, universal jailbreak is not a jailbreak. Perhaps there is that differentiation, I guess. Let's continue. We suspect the perfect jailbreak resistance is not currently possible for any model provider. Every safeguard used in the industry is vulnerable to non-universal jailbreaks, and it is unlikely that universal jailbreaks will eventually be found in the future. We stated this clearly when we released Fable 5. All right, sort of going against what the U.S. government is saying, but let's continue on. And I'm not mad at that. Stand your ground, so be it. If I'm reading this the correct way, if I'm taking it the correct way. To date, the government has only given us a verbal evidence of a potential narrow right. Let me read that again. So to continue it. To date, the government has only given us verbal evidence of a potential narrow, non-universal jailbreak. So what's the problem? Which essentially consists of asking the model to read a specific code base and fix any software flaws. Our understanding is that one potential jailbreak was shared with the government. We have reviewed a report that we believe is the basis of the government's directive. So why doesn't the government just give them the information if it's real? You stopped all of this. You shut it all down based on hearsay, pretty much. My word is gold. This is the government speaking. Really? Are you sure about that? I don't think your word is gold, but so be it. Let's continue on here. We have reviewed a report that we believe is the basis. So they don't even know. So Anthropic is left to sort of, they halt everything because they don't want problems, and they have to play the guessing game. Why? Is that the way? All right, let's continue on here. That's just unprofessional in my humble opinion, but perhaps they don't care about professionalism. They should provide that information to Anthropic. But let's continue on here. Where did we leave off? What we believe is the basis of the government's directive, and validated that the level of capability displayed there is widely available from other models, including OpenAI's GPT 5.5, and is used every day by the defenders who keep systems safe. We will share more details over the next 24 hours. Oh, we're going to learn more. Okay. We are complying with the government's legal directive, and are removing access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all users. So there you have it. Until next time, see ya.